Hi, Room 10 kiddos. We're heading to chapter 13 and 14 today of Kate DeCamilla's Because of Winn Dixie. We're almost halfway through the book, guys. I'm proud of y'all. It's a big book. But the last chapter we read was chapter 12. Do y'all remember what happened in chapter 12? Let me look back, see if I can remember. Oh, I remember. She goes to work. Remember, Opal got a job at the pet store, and she goes to Gertrude's Pets. And while she's there, she notices all the animals were out of their cage, and all the animals were behaving because Mr. Otis was playing the guitar. And the animals love listening to the music. But when he stops, what happens to the animals? They go nuts. They run around. They get loose. But as soon as he starts playing again, Opal can go and pick them all up and put them back in their cages. And Opal learns something about Mr. Otis. Mr. Otis, she goes, did they get out of their cages or did you take them out? And Mr. Otis tells her what? He takes them out because he feels bad for him. He said, because I know what it's like to feel like you're living in a cage. And do you know why? Opal learned that he had been in prison. And Opal doesn't know what to think about that. Opal's not sure yet. She's not sure how she feels about that. So now we're going to continue on to chapter 13. Me and Winn Dixie got into a daily routine where we would leave the trailer early in the morning to get down to Gertrude's Pets in time to hear Otis play his guitar music for the animals. Sometimes Sweetie Pie snuck in for the concert. She sat on the floor and wrapped her arms around Winn Dixie and rocked him back and forth like he was a big old teddy bear. And then when the music was over, she would walk around trying to pick out which pet she wanted. But she always gave up and went home because the only thing she really wanted was a dog like Winn Dixie. After she was gone, I would sweep and clean up and even arrange some of Otis's shelves because he did not have an eye for arranging things, and I did. And when I was done, Otis would write down on my time in a notebook that he had marked on the outside 1 red leather collar, 1 red leather leash. And the whole time, he did not in any way ever act like a criminal. After working at Gertrude's Pets, me and Winn Dixie would go over to the Herman W. Block Memorial Library to talk to Miss Franny Block, and listen to her tell us a story. But my favorite place to be that summer was in Gloria Dump's backyard. And I figured it was Winn Dixie's favorite place to be too, because when we got up to the last block before her house, Winn Dixie would break away from my bike and he would start to run for all he was worth, heading for Gloria Dump's backyard and his spoonful of peanut butter. Sometimes Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry would follow me. They would holler, "There goes the preacher's daughter, visiting the witch." "She's not a witch," I told them. It made me mad the way they wouldn't listen to me and kept on believing whatever they wanted to believe about Gloria Dump. One time, Stevie said to me, "My mama says you shouldn't be spending all your time cooped up in that pet shop and at the library, sitting around talking with old ladies. She says you ought to get out in the fresh air and play with kids your own age. That's what my mama says." "Oh, lay off her," Dunlap said to Stevie. Then he turned to me. "He don't mean it," he said. But I was already mad. I shouted at Stevie. I said, "I don't care what your mama says. She's not my mama, so she can't tell me what to do." "I'm going to tell my mama you said that," shouted Stevie. "And she'll tell your daddy, and he'll shame you in front of the whole church. And that pet shop man is special, and he was in jail, and I wonder if your daddy knows that." "Otis is not," I said, "and my daddy knows that he was in jail. That was a lie." But I didn't care. "And you can go ahead and tell on me if you want, you big bald-headed boy." I swear it about wore me out yelling at Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry every day. By the time I got to Gloria Dump Shore, I felt like a soldier who had been fighting a hard battle. Gloria would make me a peanut butter sandwich straight off, and then she'd pour me a cup of coffee with half coffee and half milk. Ooh, that would refresh me. I love that. Why don't you play with them boys? Gloria asked me. Because they're ignorant, I told her. They still think you're a witch. It doesn't matter how many times I tell them you're not. I think they're just trying to make friends with you in a roundabout kind of way, Gloria said. I don't want to be their friend, I said. It might be fun having them two boys for friends. I'd rather talk to you, I said. They're stupid, and they're mean, and they're boys. Gloria would shake her head and sigh, and then she'd ask me what was going on in the world, and did I have any stories to tell her, and I always did. Okay, that was chapter 13 of Because of Winn Dixie. What happened in chapter 13? We find out that Winn Dixie and Opal get into kind of a routine. They get up in the morning, they go to work. What do they do after they go to work? They they go visit the library. And who's at the library? Miss Franny Block is at the library. And then after they leave the library, where do they go? They go visit her. It was her favorite and Winn Dixie's favorite part of his day because he used to get a spoonful of peanut butter. They go to Miss Gloria Dumpshorn. And Stevie and Dunlap were trying to aggravate Opal, but she doesn't let them. She defends Miss Gloria Dump, and she defends Mr. Otis because she knows they're good people. So that's the end of chapter 13, guys.